Super excited for my guest today, a pitcher drafted in the 8th round by the Houston Astros, the number 24 ranked prospect in their organization. Colton Gordon, how's it going, man?
Good, man. Appreciate you having me on. It's awesome. Happy to be here.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to have you on. And let's jump right in. Actually, you're the 24th ranked prospect. I love looking at those kind of things. Is that something? How did you find out you were 24th ranked prospect? I love asking this question. And is that something you kind of pay attention to?
Honestly, no. I mean, to be honest with you, I think it was more of a family thing. Like I saw it pop up, and my dad was like, "Man, check this out," and I was like, "Yeah, that's awesome." And like, it doesn't change anything. Like as awesome as it is, it's like okay, like wherever I was at that day or whatever's going on. But I mean, obviously, I appreciate the respect, the honor, however you want to put it. But
yeah,
I mean, it's just maybe it shows some work you put in and kind of where you're at now. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean much in the long grand scheme of things. It's just a nice honor to have, I guess you could say, or a respect thing, maybe.
Yeah. That's true. That's pretty much the answer I usually get. Usually is family who tell parents. So shout out to your parents. I'm sure they'll listen or watch eventually.
He's a bit, he's at everything. I mean, same with my mom as well. She's at everything. My dad's just more like into the reading and everything. My mom just kind of shows up and it's like, yeah, happy to be here, which is good. It's a good balance. So it's really good.
That's so cool. Do you think? I know you live like 4 hours away from where you're spring training and stuff like that. Do you think they'll come make a trip out during spring training to see you pitch and stuff, or no?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They'll both come down.
Okay.
They'll be around. I don't know when, but they'll definitely make the trip over. I'm actually headed. I don't think I mentioned this to you. That I'm headed to the World Baseball Classic for Team Israel as well.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that's sick. So I'm looking forward to that, and they'll definitely be down there for that. So I think they're gonna wait until it's a little closer to that and come down for probably a little bit here, go down there, and then head on back.
So in your bracket or kind of like pool, whatever it is, are you guys playing in Miami or in Florida?
Yeah, Miami.
Oh, in Miami? Oh yeah, lucky then.
Yeah, very lucky. Yeah, very lucky. Everyone will be there. I got family in Miami and family in Tampa, so it'll work out really well.
Yeah. So okay, let's just talk about that then. So when did you find out, and how do they introduce or ask you to pitch for them, and how did that whole process come about?
Yeah, went to the fall league that we talked about, and they basically just reached out and said, "Look, we're interested. Like, we'll kind of keep an eye on you and let you know throughout the process." I'd say kind of based off on how I did, simply. Like, I don't think they said it in that aspect, but I think it's probably how it went. And fortunate enough, they selected me. And I'm super honored, super excited to both represent the country of Israel, but also just to go pitch and display my talents on the national level as well. Kind of a twofold thing. And worldwide stage is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and I'm just so excited. I feel like this year has been hyped up more than any other World Baseball Classic. I feel like it's just been really hyped up. So I'm excited to watch all the games. It's going to be super cool. Like all the teams they look loaded.
So I know a bunch of the names. We've kind of connected a little bit in the group chat. Like kind of fired up to all meet each other. But I played against a couple of guys in the fall league that are playing. I do know them a little bit. But as a whole, I don't know many two guys personally. I'm excited. I think we'll all mesh and just be excited, ready to roll from the jump. And it'll be good. It'll be exciting.
Yeah, that's so cool. So you talked about the fall league. Obviously, that's an honor to be able to represent the Astros on their organization in the fall league. How was that experience? Because I've talked to guys on there who were playing this year and previous years, and it's just a blast from everybody I've talked to.
Unbelievable. I mean. Like it's hard to describe how much it helped me. Yeah. In every aspect, but combine that the fun, like you said, just the blast of an experience, and then just being out there and being around a group of guys that I was with. Like, I mean, it was by far the best baseball team I'd ever been on, like by a lot. And on top of that, to be around some cool guys and have a lot of fun and just experience life on the West Coast from a Florida guy who hasn't even been out to the West Coast like that at all.
Oh wow.
I mean. All aspects, just a great time.
Who was maybe somebody who stood out to you? Obviously, there's talent everywhere, but was there anybody in particular who you just looked at? You're like, man, that dude's going to the show for sure.
Let's see. I'll go our team. Team because I know from the pitching staff, I mean, Quinn Priester, maybe I said his last name wrong there. He'll be there. I mean, I think Acuna, Luis Angel Acuna, he'll be there. I think Rojas is our center fielder for a lot of it. He'll be there. I think there's a lot of guys too, like a John Rave, and there was just a bunch of guys. Kumar Rocker was on our team. What a good dude he is.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of good guys that happen to be like unbelievably talented at baseball too. Yeah. And I think that's what attributed to our success was like we all helped each other get better, and on the field and off the field we all hung out. Like it was really one of those things where it kind of worked out so well to like not only were we good, not only did we have fun, but like we all enjoyed being around each other off the field as well. And I think when you have that at any level, like it basically equals winning when you're good as well. So, I mean, those are a couple names off the top of my head, but I think there's a lot of guys out there. Henry Davis is a great dude. Blake Sable, who got picked up in the Rule 5, shout out to him going to the Giants. It's pretty sick. He caught that with me a couple times, and just really good talent and good guys as well.
That's so cool. And did you guys win the Arizona?
Yeah.
That's pretty. Do you guys get rings and stuff for that or no?
Yeah, we get rings. Get rings for sure. It was cool. We all got our ring. We it was so cool to get a ring. We wanted a little bit. We were the saguaros. We wanted like a green cactus right on the knuckle, but it says Arizona Fall League, and it's cool. Just an experience you won't ever forget. That's for no matter how far you make it.
Yeah,
it's something that you'll look back on for sure.
Yeah, that's incredible, especially somebody like you, Colton, who, I mean, I feel like you've had a few setbacks, especially like, even when you were drafted, obviously you didn't play for a while, and just been able to go from there to now being in the Arizona Fall League, winning the Arizona Fall League with a bunch of guys, has to be just an incredible experience. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, the past year has been a whirlwind. It's been like 360 and just boom, 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 and kind of just trying to ride the wave, trying to just stay on the wave and keep it going. And it's been an unbelievable 12 months, honestly. I haven't even been cleared for that long. So it's awesome. It's been really exciting.
So let's kind of go back to when you first started playing baseball. Looking at your numbers here, you were ranked 51st overall prospect in Florida. I think you were the number 6 left-handed pitcher in Florida coming out of high school and stuff like that. Obviously, Florida has a ton of talent. Like you would know just playing high school and stuff like that. There are a ton of guys who are just gifted. How was when did you start taking baseball serious, and when did you realize like I might be a little nastier than the average baseball player in my area here?
Yeah, I'd say like when I got to the big field, if that's something that like when I was 13, like that transition from the little field to the big field, you kind of see something separate as far as maybe talent wise. But
sure.
I'd say I kind of just always had my mind made up that like this is what I wanted to do. Is from that young of an age, I was like, and it didn't take me away from. I played basketball in high school and I played other sports, and I enjoyed high school without a doubt. But like there was just something about baseball that like always drew me towards it. Like I loved playing it. Most of, if not all, my friends growing up played baseball. Nice. And there was just something about baseball where I was like, man, like I really am gonna do this. There was not really a time where I was like, I hope I can. It was kind of like I'm gonna do it. And fortunately enough, it's kind of the plan or it's spoken to existence. And again, ride the wave with it and just keep enjoying it and doing it. But I'd say at 13, it was a clear, this is the sport I want to play.
Did you do like travel ball and all that kind of stuff? Or you
so much? Yeah, travel ball. So I played little league until I was 12. Travel ball. My dad lives in St. Pete. My mom lives in Bradenton. I played travel ball maybe in both places.
Oh wow!
Up until it was like on a team up there, a team down south until I was maybe like 15 or 16, and then really solidified my. Mark Guthrie is the guy that runs the Florida Burn. What a great guy he is, person on top of a coach, and we had something called the bus tour back then, where you go on a bus tour and you go travel to a bunch of colleges from Florida to Virginia back. Wow. You get a feel for schools and you travel around and kind of like opens your eyes to like what the aspect of college baseball really is. And then On top of that, being able to showcase your talent at Perfect Game. I don't know how big Perfect Game is anymore or what that looks like, but tournaments like that and you showcase yourself. And I remember just getting your first couple of phone calls from colleges and you're like, wow, like, and that kind of solidifies the idea of like, this is what I'm going to do. And then when you get some phone calls and some interest and the realization that, wow, not only am I, it's a different level from you telling yourself to when someone is interested in you to come play for them, right? That's the next step in that. So all around just really that was the time where it was really exciting and fun and really transcended into like, okay, it went from me telling myself this is real. This is something that is actually doable.
That's so cool. Yeah, no, that's incredible. And you talked about going to colleges and stuff. You committed to University of Florida. When did you commit to University of Florida, and what kind of drew you to there?
So going back to Florida Burn, I was like that. Our team was unbelievably good. I mean, there's half our team I think played pro ball.
Nice.
And full of 16-year-olds, and on top of that, 8 of us, I believe, or 8 of the guys on the team were going to Florida from that team, that one team, and it was made up the majority of that class going into my freshman year. And I've been a lefty pitcher forever. I never really threw hard. I never did anything that was wowing as far as from a number standpoint. I competed. I won games. You knew what you were getting. I was the same me every time I pitched, and that's kind of the same me now. It hasn't really changed throughout the years. And so with that, I wanted to make sure, weighed out my options to figure out where the best fit was at the time. And I think it came down to I had a bunch of guys I really liked being around playing there. I knew where we were going, or where they were going, I should say, and I wanted to be a part of that. So I basically went as a preferred walk-on. I turned down some offers other places. And at that time, it was the best decision I could make, for sure.
So you went to University of Florida as a preferred walk-on. You redshirted, right? I think that was that what I saw for you.
I did. So I redshirted. Yeah, I'll try to go into that. I redshirted my freshman year. Went back for my redshirt freshman fall, which was my sophomore year of college, and then made the transition to junior college that semester through at Hillsborough Community College. Again, learned so much of my time. I think the further I am away from Florida, the more I realize how much I learned being there. I mean, that team we were on and the year they were coming off of, for the group of guys that came in there, I mean, they had just won the national championship.
Yeah.
Guys that were there before we even got there were unbelievable already. I mean, the weekend rotation there that my freshman year was Senior, Coar, and Tyler Dyson, who, I mean, 2 of the guys are on the same team in the show right now with the Royals. Yep. Tyler Dyson, unfortunately, had Tommy John like I did. I'm really close to him. He's down here in Palm Beach with the Nationals.
Okay.
And then you had Jonathan India on the team, JJ Schwartz, Nick Horvath, who is now a pitcher with the Angels, Deacon Lippitt. I mean, just being around those guys, I think years later, looking back, I learned so much about the way they went about their business, you could say, as professionals, even in the college level, as far as showing up every day ready to roll. I mean, no matter what happened the day before, they were ready to go. And we were stacked. I mean, I don't think there's any other way to put it. But we were good. And,
how good was Jonathan India in college? Because, I mean, obviously we see what he's doing now as a pro, but he was just probably putting up massive numbers.
Yeah, he was just as good. I mean, to me, it's no surprise what he's doing now. I mean, the amount of late nights, we all were really a tight knit group, and the amount of late nights he spent with Gage, and just the ability to just see ball, hit ball, as simple as that sounds. I mean, just play baseball, just the raw, and he put in the work to back it up, but the raw talent he had, and it wasn't just him. I mean, there's a lot of guys on that team, like a Blake Reese, who doesn't play baseball anymore, who was a guy that played second base in the national championship that year. I mean, the guys that weren't even guys now were guys then during that time. So it was just a really good experience for me to learn from all that, and I think I even learned more from it now than then. And when I left there, it set me up for success going forward, I think.
Yeah. And you mentioned you went to JUCO, Hillsborough Community College. I love talking to guys who went the JUCO route because you hear these crazy stories of like the workouts, because you don't have that NCAA regulations and stuff. Do you have any like wild JUCO stories that you just think about? You're like, wow, that's so JUCO. Whether it's like,
man, I went to LA Fitness and bought a membership. That's what I mean. That's as wild as it comes. I mean, I was working out at LA. I would go to practice. I come home. And I had a really, again, talk about things I learned. I understood the importance of a routine from the jump, I think, from Florida, even from the coaches at Hillsborough. And I was like, man, I knew there was things, there's a part of being stacked and being really good as to why I didn't throw. There's also a part of owning I didn't throw well, honestly. Like I didn't perform up to my standards. So I knew there was stuff I had to get better at. So a wild story is I would just hit the gym. And I remember working out at night and I remember just being in the weight room and being like, man, I'm in college baseball. Working out fitness with a bunch of guys in Tampa who, like, I'm obviously no one knows who I am. No one. I mean, I'm just a normal guy. But in the back of my head, I'm like swimming laps at night. Just would show up to 6 a.m. weights in our small little weight room. Fortunately for us, we had a really cool experience where we played with the Yankee spring training complex.
Oh, nice!
So we were around a bunch of guys during their spring training and was around a bunch of like. Just their guys at the time. Like I remember seeing like Gary Sanchez working out in our outfield running sprints while we had batting practice going on. Like it was that close of an interaction with their spring training. So just a wild time considering again where I am now. But the LA Fitness thing I think will be the one thing that kind of just stands out to me is like I like literally just remember sitting there being like, damn, buying a gym membership, like this is not ideal, but here we go. Like this is it.
Yeah. So you're at LA Fitness and you're thinking, man, like I went from D1 Florida to like I'm at a JUCO and I had to work out at a LA Fitness.
We just simply didn't have access to a gym 24/7.
Yeah.
I mean, like didn't have access to anything, and I'm like, I know I need to be in a weight room, and this is my best option down the road, and it was good. Best thing, again, one of the better things I could have done. It kept me on a routine, gave me an option to go there when I needed to, had everything I needed. No knock on LA Fitness. It just went again, like you said, right from a university where like everything you could ever imagine is right here. You kind of got to fend for yourself in an aspect of like, what do you need? Where do you get it? How do you go about it? And just teaches you to grow, to like figure out what you want, grow up a little bit. Like I chose, the conversation when I left Florida with the coach, Brad Weitzel, who's not there anymore. One of the best guys that helped me so much at the time was simply like, look, man, you could sit here and boost our team's GPA for 3 years, probably never play pro ball, and sit here and just be like, hey, man, I played at Florida, or I sat the bench at Florida. Or you can own it and be like, I'm going to go play pro ball. I'm going to go achieve my dreams and go do it. And I think right then and there, I realized the ownership of like, this is my career. Like no one's going to go out and do it for you. Like you have to go kind of attack, like I say attack the moment, like go and everything you want to do, like attack it. And that was kind of my way of realizing, okay, I'm at JUCO, backs against the wall. This is it. Like if I need to go get a gym membership, like it's not that big a deal. I'll go work out. I can go attack the same thing I was doing there at LA Fitness down the road. Like it's the same thing, just different place.
Do you think that JUCO grind kind of prepared you for like UCF and also like now in the minor league, which is another grind in and of itself?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's just the realness of it. It's a grind, and you gotta know your why is another thing. Just know why you're doing it. And if you can be really solidified in that, really clear as to why you're doing it, how you want to go about your business, it makes it really easy to then, I guess ride through that grind. It's not an easy grind, whether it's working out or the throwing schedule or just the lifestyle in and of itself. So absolutely.
Yeah, no, like I said, JUCO's a grind. It's like the term JUCO abandon is like legitimate. Like it's crazy. Like I said, I've had guys tell me like their coaches have made them wake up like at 4 or 5 in the morning, do all these workouts, and then run up mountains after like throwing bullpens. They're just crazy stories.
Yeah. And we had 5:30 weights. Like I didn't even mention that we had 5:30 a.m. weights because that was like our time to get in our like little weight room. And I
Yeah.
remember going there. I would do like yoga, and then we'd do like some workouts, and then I'd still do my stuff afterward. But yeah, our time slot for our team workout was 5:30 a.m. Tuesdays and Thursdays.
That's
So
crazy.
yeah, it was early mornings.
Yeah. So then you go to UCF. Obviously, you do well there. You get injured, but overall, like your college experience at UCF was pitching wise was really good. How was your experience there at University of Central Florida?
Yeah, UCF was great. I mean, UCF was, again, I can't tell you how happy I am looking back on that I went there.
Yeah.
It was the best decision I could have made coming out of junior college. Coach Lovelady, Coach Adi, who's the pitching. Lovelady's the head coach. Adi was the pitching coach. Is now with the Boston Red Sox, but very driven to get you better, and then result get the team better. It was very much a twofold. Like, we're gonna make you a better player, and we're gonna make everyone here better. But as a result, as a team, we will be better because of that. And like, you had to buy into that and understand the process, and a little more of an analytical view from using analytics in baseball, which at the time, transitioning from junior college to there, that was like the last thing I knew about, or even like I was like, what are we even talking about? But it gave this other dynamic or aspect to pitching where I was like, wow, I can wrap my head around that. Like, I can see where that can benefit me. And you know, the best thing is when you have a coaching staff there that wants to work with you as much as you want to get better, it makes it so much easier. And I gotta shout out the strength coach there, Jeremy Fraden. I mean, he talked about guys just willing to, I mean, whether it's working on your arm from a PT standpoint or just making sure you're in the gym or setting up. For me as a starter, my workouts synced up with the throwing program that week or with my start. I mean, when you have a group like that from a coaching staff willing to adjust or help you at any level, it makes it way better and easier to just simply get better. And so comparing that to Florida was so much more enjoyable with a group of guys that was like, oh, we're all here, 8 guys coming off a national championship, awesome to be there, learned a lot, to a school where it was like, you know, we're bringing you here to be the guy. You're not no longer the freshman coming in. Like, you have an expectation involved here. And it was very much more of like a business-like decision going to UCF as far as, you know, I can throw here. This is a great spot, great atmosphere, great culture. That's where I want to be, and that ended up working out so well.
Yeah. How was that mindset shift for you, going from not being one of the guys at Florida, but now being like the guy at UCF? Yeah,
I mean, it's again, I think it's the best thing that could have happened because you don't forget it. I mean, you don't forget where you come from, right? No matter what it is in your line of work, you remember all the steps. And so when you're at a point where you're like, man, I'm on the teeter of might not being able to play baseball again, to the point of like, well, you're the guy, it brings a level of like understanding that you don't ever want to go back there.
Sure.
So you work, there's a little less high and lows. You like, awesome, great game. You kind of soak that in for the night. And then the next day it's like, okay, on to the next. Yeah. And that just allows you to not get, not get like lost in the moment maybe, or too high or too low, just like a little more of a steady, like, hey, like there's an expectation every week and you know where you came from and you want to be the best you can be, but no matter how great or how bad that week was, you got to show up the next week to prove it again.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, in baseball, it's really as simple as, what have you done for me lately? And you can
that's true.
You can hold that to yourself or hold that to whoever has the expectation around you. And that's as simple as that. So, it was just a great experience, great time. And I think it helped me. It still helps me every day. I mean, it just does. There's no other way around it.
Yeah. What was maybe your favorite moment, or maybe like your favorite team to pitch against? Maybe their fans were a little extra chirpy, or the fans were actually a little rowdy, and you just couldn't wait to just shove against them.
Man, at UCF, I'll tell you what, Auburn before COVID, that team that team one was really good. I said
Mm-hmm.
before earlier that fall league team was the best team I've ever been on. Up
Yeah.
until that point, that UCF team, Florida stands out for itself, and everyone knows why, right?
Right.
It's easy. The UCF team, 8 out of those 9 guys were JUCO guys in that starting lineup when we all got there. And though that team was just really good at having fun, but when the game started, it was like we're a bunch of JUCO guys and we're not going back.
Yeah.
It's as easy as that to say. And we would like that game at Auburn. I remember walking in and it just you felt everybody. It was before because this is before like we threw the next year with like limited crowds or even no crowds at certain places, and it was like sold out or at least pretty close on the road, pretty cold. It was the second week of the season. It was by far the biggest atmosphere I had ever pitched in.
Oh, nice.
By far, not only me, but the whole team. And it was like, all right. Like, and they were yelling. And the next year we were at Ole Miss, and there was like 20 guys because it was COVID and they wouldn't let anybody in. They have a guy that's like, throw it in the dirt. He's like yelling. And we're like, dude, this is like hilarious compared to the previous year, whereas everyone was actually like, you felt like they were kind of on top of you. So
yeah,
those 2 weekends were really big weekends for me and for the school as a whole. But that weekend at Auburn was pretty electric. They were on us.
Did you guys win?
Yeah, we swept them. Yeah,
it was big. That's incredible.
Yeah, and 2 weeks later, man, the season got cut short. But I'm telling you, we were a good squad. We were really good.
Yeah.
We ended up, I think we were ranked 9th in the nation at that point, and we weren't stopping. I know that for sure. We were on our way to something really special. So that one got cut short, which sucks. Well, I think everyone there will always kind of be like,
yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. You end up getting drafted. You end up getting injured, but then you get drafted anyway. You get drafted by the Astros in the 8th round. Heading into the draft, obviously, you have the injury and stuff. Were you thinking top 10 round? What was kind of your mindset heading into the draft?
No clue, honestly.
Yeah.
No clue. Like I can say that whole like I didn't know. I mean, the injured before the draft. Whether you know baseball or not, you don't want to get injured before a draft. And
yeah,
no matter I had no clue. Honestly, I really didn't. No matter what sport. I mean, you name it, you don't want to get injured before your draft year. And I had no clue. I mean, I had thoughts of free agent sign. I had hopes of a draft. I had thoughts of, man, what if I don't? Do I have to go back and have to throw out of a bullpen early out of surgery just to like show that I'm healthy?
Yeah.
So it was across the board. I mean, it really was. And I had no clue. And I remember going to workouts and having phone calls, and there was other teams that they at least showed or seemed very interested that I was like, ooh, like you would like one day you'd wake up and be like, man, I'm for sure getting drafted. The next day you'd be like, whoa, there's no way. And so it was a roller coaster. It really was. And I was so thrilled and happy that the Astros got me. And obviously looking back now, it's, why, from the rehab staff, from how much, they put into me to help me get back on the field. I'll always be appreciative.
So so you get drafted in the 8th round. Obviously, you don't pitch for a while. And you talk about the emotional like roller coaster that it was. How do you stay, and how did you stay, and even currently, how do you stay like mentally tough and mentally strong? Because baseball's a grind. It has ups, it has downs, and then obviously you go through injury like Tommy John. How did you stay mentally tough?
I think, and this sounds so cliche, but you control what you can.
Yeah.
And you kind of, I was having this conversation with one of the guys trying to joking around the other day, but I think it's as simple as control what you can. And also, the goal never changed, right? Like as tough or as not ideal as a situation may be. I mean, you talked about asking me, when did the goal become a reality of like, oh, I wanted to play at the next level, continue to play at 13.
Yeah.
It was to be a professional baseball player and that be my job forever. And so it never changed. And by allowing that to continue to be that, I had to understand, okay, to do that, rehab was involved. Okay, as long as I attacked that day and did everything I could that day and stacked a day on top of day on top of day, it adds up. And I think that's so real. And I think, you see a lot of that, people talk about that. But at the end of the day, when I'm lifting a weight with my arm and the weight goes up 5 pounds from 2 weeks ago, I mean, that matters after surgery. And then you add 10 pounds and 20 pounds and you throw a ball and you go from lobbing the ball and throwing a ball a little bit on a line, and then you're moving your feet in it, and then you get a leg kick, and then you, I don't know, maybe are pulling down on a ball and there's some velo involved there. I mean, everything kind of adds up. So to stay mentally tough, you got to appreciate the little victories in it, maybe is a good way of putting it. But also at the same time, understand the big picture to like, hey, like that was great. Like that's exactly what I wanted to do that day. And don't take it for granted. I mean, me throwing a baseball for the first time again after surgery was a huge deal. Like I wrote on the ball. I was like, TJ, throw number 1. I signed my name. I like put the date, put it in my little, like, I got like a little wall of baseballs and stuff at home. And I was like, that ball is going to be around for a while. Because that day, that week, that was like the biggest thing I could have ever done. Like I threw a baseball again. And then it was building on top of that. So I said to stay mentally tough. Here's a good one. Our love lady at UCF gave us a speech one time, and he was like, you got to have goals and think of it through like looking through like a lens, like a far away lens and then a zoomed in lens. Like you got to appreciate the close up goals and attack those and really, achieve those to get to the bigger picture goal. But at the same time, they're all adding up to that goal. So to me, to stay mentally tough, it's just being in the routine and really understanding the importance of everything matters in that. And so that's how you do it on my end, and just really appreciating the little things.
How hard was it in recovering to not just, as soon as you kind of feel a little bit better, to not just go out and throw? Because I mean, I'm sure.
Hard. I mean, hard. And not only was it hard, but also there's days where you don't feel good and you're like, man, I gotta throw to feel good. And so it's both ways. And there's the days where you feel good, you're like, man, I'm ready, and you are not ready. And it's hard because especially you see other guys, especially when you're here in spring training or here throughout the year, you see guys doing it like, man, I want to play, I want to pitch, but all good things come in time, right? I mean, that's kind of an old saying that's true. And fortunate for me, there's been a lot of people in my circle, in my corner, to project knowledge on me over the years, from Florida, before Florida, junior college, UCF, even now. And my surgeon was very adamant about this. The day before I got surgery, I met with him, and he was like, it's 1 year, no matter what you do, how you chop it up, however you look at it, it's 1 year to become healthy. If you attack every day and you do everything on your rehab sheet or whatever the people give you in rehab, wherever you're at, and do every single thing correctly and like persistently all the time, you will be better at the end, period, at the end of the year, if you do it. And I really bought into that, and it really paid off in that, because you can't replace hard work. Honestly, you just can't, no matter what way you look at it. So that was another great thing that was told to me. And I remember him being so serious about it and being like, man, like, all right, like you could buy, you're like, all right, you can buy into that. Like I get it. Like I see it. So I think it's really a tribute to kind of everyone around me who's kind of helped me get to where I'm at, in that aspect as well.
Yeah. Did you, or what did you do to keep yourself busy during that time? Because obviously, you can't play baseball. Like you just got gaming, golfing, cooking. Like what kind of hobbies did you pick up?
Man, I delivered pizza.
That's
pizza
awesome.
So we're down here in West Palm Beach in rehab, and it was about, you only do so much a day, right?
Yeah.
Part of this recovery, allowing your body to recover. So we'd go in for 3 hours, and you'd get your throwing, your workout, your conditioning, and then I'd come home, I'd take a nap. And I remember calling my dad being like, man, I could totally use a couple extra dollars. I'm really tired of sitting around this hotel room. And I was like, you know what? Like, go deliver pizza. And I would work for a pizza place right here in Palm Beach from 5 to like 8:30. deliver pizza around. Get done with that and come home, have dinner. Sometimes they'd make me dinner, which was like the best days is when I would get Italian food there at the Italian place, this local shop here in Palm Beach, and then come back about 8:30, you eat food, hang out with some guys, kind of see the guys for the day, kind of talk it up and go to bed and run it back the next day. So talk about a routine, like that routine really helped me stay on track as well.
That's so cool. I mean, yeah, I mean, I've talked to guys who picked up cooking, picked up golf, picked up whatever gaming.
I golf. Like I golf. Okay. I golf as well. I love golf. Like I mean, I golf. I'm not good, but I love it. You know,
I've never golfed, but like everyone I talk to, obviously, like baseball players, they're big in golf. A lot of pitchers, especially.
Right.
I don't know how to golf. I mean, someday I'm gonna golf, but I don't know when.
Yeah, I am not good, so the patience on my end has to be there. But golf is there. I've never really been big into video games. I read a little bit. I'm not gonna sit here and say I read a lot. I tried. Yeah. I'm not a big reader. I tried, but I'd say between golf and that, and just really hanging out with. We had our rehab group down here at that time was pretty big, which is unfortunate. But we were really close knit then too. So just to hang out with those guys, we went to the beach a lot, Palm Beach. I mean, we stay probably 10 minutes from the beach. So anytime we could, we go out there and just jump in and sit in the water and walk around the beach and kind of walk around and check that out. So between those three things, pass the time pretty quick. You only have so much time in a day.
Yeah, not a bad place to rehab, like, you know, right next to the beach.
Not at all. A great place. Come on, Palm Beach. Great.
I've never been, but I mean, like I said, I'm going to Florida in a week from now. There's a couple spots I can't wait to check out.
Yeah, this has got to be one of them. It's a good little spot. Good little spot. Easy access to the beach. Some great restaurants. Good spot to be. That's for sure.
Yeah. Let's jump into the minor leagues real quick before we wrap this up. Obviously, the minor league is a grind in and of itself. You only been there for about maybe a year now, I guess, for a full season in the minors. How do you have any funny minor league stories, or whether it's like buses break down or like bugs in your bed or something like that? Like I've heard it all when it comes to minor league stories. Do you have any funny ones?
We had empanadas for a pregame meal, just pure like empanadas, like that weren't even hot. Like I mean, just horrible pregame meals. I had my buddy. We were in Winston-Salem. We had a couple of guys get called up. Me, one of them that week. His locker room was the handicap shower. So like. He'd be getting changed after the game. Guys would be showering. His stuff would get freaking soaked, right? Coming out of the shower. And he's like, dude. And it was that's like, come on. But that was hilarious. And, man, the bus is packed. I mean, buses, we just two to a seat, and everyone smells terrible sometimes after the game. That's just nasty.
Yeah.
Just nights and not ideal situations, but
I was like, what is one city you get off the bus, you look around, you're like, where am I? I'm in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, you're like, Zebulon, North Carolina. Zebulon. You get off the bus and literally it's a stadium, and I can't even tell you what else is around it. I mean, Raleigh's close. Raleigh's 30 minutes, but like literally, I think the stadium is the city. Like I don't know what else is there. And so you get off the bus, you're like, this is a sick field, but like, where the hell am I? Where are we still? Like, where are we? So you try to laugh it off. You kind of look around, you're like, oh, dude, this is horrible. But like, what? And you kind of just move on from there. But it's an unbelievable experience. That's for sure. You can't how about that? You can't make up cold empanadas in the middle of nowhere. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's a big no. I wouldn't. That's a hard pass for me.
Dude. Yeah, no doubt.
Have you had any funny minor league fan interaction?
Dude, we had a guy one night. We threw him. He's like a grown. I shouldn't say guy, like a grown man. Be like, can I have a ball? Can I have a ball? Can I have a ball? Which is like not the ever, but what happened? We throw him a ball and he takes the ball and like he puts it in his pocket and then he comes back 2 innings later with a hat on, he's like someone completely different. Begging for a ball. We're like, dude, we just gave you a ball. Like, you're the same guy. So that's one of the funnier things.
He tried to pull a little switcheroo on you?
Yeah, they'll switcheroo. They'll like hat change and wearing the same fit, come from the different dugout, and I happen to be at the different side of the dugout back, and we're like, all right, dude, calm down. Here we already got you one. If you really, really want another one, here you go. But
Jeez.
I mean, my time there was brief last year, but I mean those are some funny ones I got. Those are some funny ones I got for sure.
Yeah. Who got hounded the most for autographs? Like where it's just like they need like security just to get out of the building.
Dude, the fall league. The fall league was different.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Fall league is different out there with we would Kumar. I mentioned Kumar being a really good. I got to know him. We'd walk by Kumar like that, like. And like we'd all walk behind him and be like Kumar, and like it was just that ended up being a really good joke out there. But everyone wanted to hit his autograph. Henry Davis was a big time guy that was like everyone wanted his autograph. And I love it because I'm the guy coming off TJ who no one even knows. So I'm like, don't worry about me. I'm good. So like I walk, which is perfect. And so those two guys were big time. Quinn was another guy out there that was hounded for him. But I thought I knew what hounding autographs was like until I got out there. And then I got out there and I was like, dude, this is a whole other universe.
Wow.
The amount of people show up.
Yeah. Is it kind of like spring training where I've never been to the fall league, but I'm assuming it's kind of like spring training where the fans are semi close and
Yeah, we play in spring training stadiums out there. Is where so it's just like spring training with only 8 teams, right? Or only 8 teams. And it is very much like spring training with a very like there's only 4 games a day. You know where the games are. I mean, there's people there for BP every day, early, nonstop. So it's like that was a whole nother experience.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Well, hopefully, I mean, soon they'll be hounding you for your autograph. You know, like I said, top 30 prospect. Is that good? You tell me. I don't know.
Yeah, you tell me, man. Hopefully that's just a start. That's just a start.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, let's kind of wrap this up by talking about this. You kind of mentioned this, but like when you're not pitching and working out, like what do you do for fun? You talked about golf. You talked about delivering pizza. I don't know if you still do that or not, but like what do you do for fun?
It's in the past.
Never again.
For fun, golf. I'm a big enjoyment of just being around the guys.
Yeah.
When I'm home, I get to see some friends that you don't get to see. Basically at all during the year. So catch up with them and golf at home as well. But for here, just I enjoy playing video games with guys. I know I don't have any, like I said, but to be able to go to someone else's room, chop it up, see how their season was, especially the past 2 weeks, like just so good to see what they have going on off the field. Go to the beach. Love going to the beach. Just really video games, beach, golf. Helped my parents remodel both their houses a little bit, so got some extracurricular activities.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's been fun. But I mean, again, by the time you do your baseball stuff and add like maybe 1 or 2 of those in a day, it's kind of a wrap on my end.
Yeah.
Try to get sleep and run it back the next day.
Yeah, where's like the go-to spot over there for like food? When I'm out there, like where's something I just gotta try? Like it's that area is known for.
Well, you gotta text me your budget of what you're looking to spend. There's
let's say I'm balling on a budget, man.
there's options, but Lenora's on Clematis Street for Italian is top of the line, and then Meat Market. We were talking about it earlier. Meat Market might be a little bit. That might be your baller night when you're going out and just go. But the Meat Market on Palm Beach Island is something else as well. Those 2 places, man, are top of the line. There's some little taco shops around too, just kind of hole in the wall taco shops that are unbelievable. So you kind of got a little tiers. You got tiers of this. You got to know what's going in that day, and they got a little bit of everything. Sounds good.
Well, hey, let's end it on that because nothing. I don't want to get too more into food because I'm just gonna get hungry. But like I said, like I'll be out in Florida next week. I mean, if I'm in Astros camp, I'll hit you up and maybe we can chop it up in person for a few minutes here and there. See how that goes.
Hit me up, absolutely. It'd be awesome to see you.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, well, Colton, hey, consider this the official Colton podcast. I'm going to be following you. You can consider this your burner account too. If anyone's chirping you on Instagram, Twitter, I'm gonna chirp right back.
My guy, I love it.
I got that. Like I said, I got your back, Colton.
I appreciate you. That's awesome. That's awesome.
All right. Yeah, all right, brother. You have a great rest of your night, man. Enjoy spring training.
Yeah, man. You too. Hope to see you down here.
Likewise. All right, man.